Hey folks, KayakDIY here, coming at you with the SwellPro Spry waterproof drone. I'll have it linked in the video description below. You can find it. Also, you can check out the pinned comment below this video, as it also will have where you can purchase this if you're interested. Just take it for what it is. I'm not telling you have to buy this, but if you're looking for a drone and you're into kayaking, fishing, paddle sports, water sports, I think you need to take a strong consideration and look at this. This drone takes off from water. It's waterproof. It has a 4K camera. You can actually change pan up, pan down with the camera. It does not have a gimbal, but you're going to be able to see what kind of footage it's capable of doing. The footage in this video will not be doctored. It will not be edited. It will not be color corrected. I will add a little bit of music to the footage just to be able to add to the feel, because when you're watching drone footage, most of the time people put music to it. So I just want to show you what this thing can do. We're going to go out on the paddle crafts here. We're going to launch it, and I think it's going to be pleasantly surprising to you. It's a windy day. That's something you need to take into consideration. It is very sunny out. All I did to this drone to produce this video footage was I went into the SwellPro Cam 2 app, and I ended up changing the camera settings from the factory settings. So that's what they give you the app for. The app is designed to do that. It's designed to let you change from like 2.7K, 4K, 1080p. It lets you change the resolutions. All I did was change pretty much the EV, the exposure. The exposure was set to 0. On a bright sunny day, if you keep the exposure set to 0, it's going to wash out all your footage, and you're not going to like that. It's better to actually underexpose your footage than to overexpose your footage. When I say overexposure, it means that it's going to turn the brightness way up, and you don't want that. On a bright sunny day, the sun is just plenty for brightness. You don't need to overexpose the footage. So I set the EV rating to 1.7, negative 1.7 actually. So it was set at 0. I set it to negative 1.7, and that seemed to produce some pretty good results. Now let's take a look at it with some music and just see kind of how this thing works. So here we are taking off from the paddleboard, although I have taken off from the water as well. Okay, so that footage looked pretty good, and I definitely would consider that usable footage. Here though, it doesn't look so good. And why is that? Well, for one, I'm going to be traveling really fast here in a second and I'm not used to it, so I'm a little bit choppy with the throttle. But also, you'll notice that there's like a haze on the screen, and that's actually from drops of water. Since we took off from water, drops of water sat in front of the dome, in front of the camera, and they're just sitting there creating this haziness that you see. To fix that, it's a very easy fix. It's the same fix actually that we saw with GoPro cameras when they first were coming out. So a lot of the GoPro cameras had housings that you had to put them in order to make them waterproof. And well, they would occasionally have this same issue, and what GoPro users did is they ended up buying hydrophobic lens coatings. Those came in the forms of spray, or sometimes they were actually a film that you could apply in front of the housing on the camera, and it would allow water to just bead off and you wouldn't have that issue anymore. So that really doesn't concern me. I'm not worried about it. Here you see the drone getting thrown in the water. Here you see some of that footage from earlier. This footage though was highly overexposed. It was using the factory settings of EV0, which on a sunny day makes the footage just all washed out. And I tried to fix it in Final Cut Pro, as you see here, because it looks a little bit better, but it lost a lot of the detail. So I really recommend that you use, for sunny days like this, -1.7 as your starting point. And you might even go more negative if it's even more sunny. But that's going to yield the best results for your footage. So long story short, if you get the camera settings dialed in, this thing, it produces highly usable footage. I'm very happy with it, and the fact that I can land on water is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with one more thing. If you think the Spry is going to work for you, for what you do, I ask that you use the discount code KayakDIY. You're going to benefit and I'm going to benefit. How am I going to benefit? Well, I want to make sure that's crystal clear so that you guys know I am non-biased. I paid for this drone. I paid $774 on Kickstarter for this drone. It's now, I think, $898 or so. Knowing what I know now, I would pay the full price for it. But how do I benefit? If you use the discount code or the link in the video description below, you're going to end up getting a discount. Plus, I will get a small commission. What's that commission going to allow me to do? It's going to allow me to, well, get more kayaks, paddle boards, different bits of gear to share with you. And it's going to let me take care of my new little baby girl, Sailor Marie. And that's important to me. So I do these videos here because I like to do them. I enjoy what I do. But at the end of the day, I also have to pay bills just like everyone else does. So if you like this drone here, you think it's gonna work for you, you like the footage that was unedited in post-production, I did not color correct or anything. If you like that footage, you think this drone produces good enough quality, then buy it through our link or use the discount code, because, well, it's just the right thing to do. So take care, and I'll see you in the next one.